It's time to give Lady Raider basketball some of their flowers. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I am R.C. Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast for the latest news and rumors regarding Texas Tech athletics. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button to stay in the know all year long. We're your one-stop shop for everything Texas Tech. All right. Last night was kind of that moment that I think Red Raider Nation needed as a whole. When it came to Lady Raider basketball, is they upset number 25 Texas at home. And I don't want this video to sound like, hey, they're officially 100% all the way back, because I don't think a single woman on that team, I don't think a singular individual in that coaching staff would say that. But damn it, it feels good to have Lady Raider basketball back in the thick of it. Right? Just in the thick of things where they are a legit tournament contender. And it is because of the job that not only Christi Gerlich has done at her alma mater, but also the buy-in from each and every woman on that team into the philosophy, into the culture that crew has instilled upon that Lady Raider program. And it took them a bit to get there. Let's not lie about that. It was at the bottom almost in terms of what Texas Tech had to deal with getting Gerlich back in here to be the head coach of her alma mater. And it took a couple years, right? But the Lady Raiders feel like they are a legit tournament contender right now. And that's something that we haven't been able to say about that program in a very, very long time. And if you're excited to even witness what's going on in Lady Raider basketball, just give this video a simple like, because the last time Texas Tech had their women's program in the NCAA tournament was a decade ago. You heard me right, a decade ago. And there is a legit possibility that the Lady Raiders, make it this year, right? You look at their win totals and their increases. I'm going to go back to the dark ages of Lady Raider basketball, where they won 7 games just 5 years ago. Just 5. With Candace Whitaker and obviously Gray Miller came in as well. They were 7-23, 1-17 in Big 12 play. Obviously the Marlene Stallings debacle and everything that went on there. Those 2 years, they won 17 games there. But the first 2 years of Christi Gerlich, well, they had to rebuild a little bit. This was a program that had to start from the bottom and work their way up. And they've done just that. They're not where they're going to want to be long term, but damn it, they deserve some flowers in terms of what the hell they've gone through these past 2.5 years to get to this point, right? To get to this point to where, yeah, you're beating Texas, right? Christi Gerlich talked about it in her press conference last night. She remembers when it was 37-0, where Texas Tech had never beaten Texas in women's basketball. And now you're beating them, but also it's not just that. It's bigger than the Texas win. This program and its trajectory is headed in a path that we have not seen at Texas Tech in a decade. Like, this team could win 20 games. That hasn't happened since 2012, 2013, when you were last in the NCAA tournament. You could legit do that. You're 15-4. And Lady Raider basketball, it just feels so much different. I want to tell a story here in just a minute about going back and seeing them practice before the season and just being up close and personal with them in terms of having those conversations and getting to see them practice and talking to the coaching staff and everything. But before I do, I'd be remiss not to shout out just some of the players on this team that are absolutely balling out right now. I mean, how about Bre'Amber Scott? She leads the Big 12 in scoring. She's averaging 17 points a game. She's her. You hear that he's him on the men's side. Well, damn it, Bre'Amber Scott is her. She is her right now. I mean, my goodness, you want to hear some crazy stats. Here we go. Since Big 12 play, she's been the leading scorer in every game for the Lady Raiders. Just a casual 18, 21, it can do something for me. If you get the reference, hit that like button. Then she had 20, 23, 37 and then 28 the past 2 games. That's wild. She is her. She is her right now. And the crazy part about last night beating Texas is they were out without their second leading scorer and Bailey Maupin. True freshman. She was in a walking boot, right? And not to mention, they played this whole season and are 15-4 without the number 1 transfer in the entire class of 2022. And JoJo Nori. The job that this coaching staff has done is unbelievable considering the circumstances that they were put in just 24 months ago, 2 years ago, right? Like what they have done is phenomenal and then some. The way they've recruited, the way they've developed, the way that they have sustained and kept the culture that they put in place from day one, it's been absolutely phenomenal. No doubt about it. I asked you to like the video if you're excited to have Lady Raider basketball back in the thick of things. But comment below what Lady Raider basketball means to you right now, why you're so excited to have them back, because it's one of those things for me. I think people, especially that are my age and maybe didn't have ties to Texas Tech before they went to school out there, don't really realize the history of Lady Raider basketball. Like, they hear Marcia Sharp Freeway and they think, oh, cool, Marcia Sharp. They don't know the story behind that. Like, right? So it's kind of crazy. Some people don't know that the Michael Jordan of females basketball went to Texas Tech. Like, they just don't know that. And so it's so cool to me. Like, again, I've said it a couple times already in the video. They're not back to where they want to be by no means, right? Like, I get it. There's different levels to this. But it's awesome to see the trajectory doing this instead of this, like it was just a couple years ago. And that's a testament to every woman on that roster, but also the coaching staff. Yeah, so just tell me what it means to have Lady Raider basketball in the swing of things. Before I get out of here, I want to tell the story of me watching practice before this year. They allowed me to come out and watch practice a couple times, actually. And both times I was like, okay, I see it, right? Like you could tell the talent was there. There was just talent all over the place. And I want to give a shout out to some of these girls. Freelon, she was the girl that stood out to me. If you don't know who that is, Kalea Freeland, I mean, go look at her in terms of just her high school resume and what she did. She's a track star that is a very good basketball player too. Obviously, Jasmine Shavers from Mississippi State. I already mentioned JoJo, who hasn't gotten to play this year. Riley McKinney, obviously the coach's daughter, and Bryn Gerlich, and she's far more than that. She is an impactful player in the Big 12. I obviously mentioned Bailey, BreAmber's there, Ashley, the Texas transfer, so it probably felt really good for her, even though she didn't get to play last night, to beat her former squad. Katie Farrell, and then Jasmine Lewis, right? Like, this team is good. And when I was watching practice, I could tell they were good, right? Like, it's very easy to see with your eyes if you can tell if a basketball team is good or not. And you could tell they were good. I'll wholeheartedly admit, I was skeptical in terms of the timeline. Like, that's all I was skeptical of. I didn't know if they would make this jump this year because it takes a second. I think everybody realizes that, but I can wholeheartedly admit I was wrong. I told my buddy, hey, I think they probably win, 15 to 16 games this year. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, obviously, things can happen, but you can tell the trajectory was like this, like I said. But I think it's even more so the buy-in. You could see it at practice, but it's another thing to see the buy-in in games, right? And that's a testament, again, to every woman on that roster, every individual on that coaching staff. If there was any doubt the first 2 years of if Coach Gerlich was the answer, there's no doubts anymore. She's the right woman for this job, and she's proving it each and every day. This team gets to go out and practice together, gets to love on each other in terms of just being around each other and playing games. You could just tell that this program is it's getting back. I don't know if it'll ever be back to the peak glory days, but it's getting back there ever so quickly with Coach Gerlich, and it just feels so awesome, and it's awesome to watch because you get to see somebody that was there for those glory days, and hopefully bring them back. Man, it's just awesome. It's just awesome to see. I'm RC Maxfield. I'm going to wrap it up there, but I needed to make this video to give these ladies their flowers. They deserve it. They've been through some you-know-what the past couple years, and they deserve to have some praise, damn it. That's how I feel about it. So shout out to everybody in Lady Raider basketball, from Coach Gerlich all the way down to the equipment people and the GAs and everybody. Y'all deserve this praise, and there's no doubt about it. And if there's a couple things you can take away from this, I think one of the major things is this. Go watch Bre'Amber Scott. She's one of the best damn athletes on campus. Go support these ladies. Seriously, go support them. They deserve it. I'm going to wrap it up there, though. I'm RC Maxfield, reminding you for the latest breaking news and rumors when it comes to all of Texas Tech athletics. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button to stay in the know right here on the Back to 12 podcast channel.